There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed.
Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and it is time to return to Darkest Dungeon. And, we're broke again. Let's see something. So what are... Let's see, I can do a short veteran level mission. Let's see. Because we need to make some scratch. We need to make some scratch real quick. But let's see. I think I can't. You know, bringing an antiquarian who's slightly too leveled to be on the mission isn't really any worse than bringing an antiquarian in general. Let's bring a Vestal, a Hellion, and really low on people who are high enough, and yeah, highwayman. Alright, I think this will work. Yes, and yes, 2 of my 4 team members have diseases. Unfortunately, we don't have enough money to treat them. Okay, so unequip all the trinkets. Part of the reason why I'm going to the Weald is because I want to make progress towards the Weald bosses. Because we've already beaten the novice level bosses in both of the other, in all 3 of the other areas. Okay, so for a Vestal, the only Vestal specific equipment is the Virtuous Chalice. Yeah, unequip all trinkets, I think I already did that, but sort by class, so I can get Junia's head, and the snake oil, actually there's a better, then the Worry Stone, to mitigate the effects of Junia's head. Okay. The antiquarian gets the Master's Essence, and for lack of a better idea, the Hero's Ring. Right. And the Highwayman gets the Drifter's Buckle and the Stalwart Buckle. And the Hellion gets the Lioness War Paint, and this is a short mission. I'll give her Dismas's head. Just going all in on damage, and we're going, since this is a short mission, we should be able to just get this out of the way quickly. Alright, need to bring some food. 12 should do. Need to bring some blood. A couple of shovels. Plenty of torches, because the Weald has long hallways. Little medicinal herbs, bandages and anti-venom, and that should suffice.
I knew all these paths once. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions.
Alright, and the good news is the Vestal is passive. She's not craving or anything. The bad news is this map layout is less than ideal. Okay, eerie spiderweb. I think bandages are for this. Yep, bandages protect the hero's hands, and a jute tapestry.
Could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Our first curio interaction, we get ourselves a jute tapestry. It was definitely worth going down this hallway. Unless a shambler manages to show up in here somehow, which I seriously doubt. Okay, let's go this way. And a torch! An antique torch.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Okay, and the Vestal is craving. I think she can hold out a little bit farther, though. Surprisingly little combat so far. And, yep, there's the combat. The combat was just waiting a little bit. Oh, God damn it. Well, the crate was empty, but still, we should have let the antiquarian do that.
Nature herself, right. A victim to the spreading corruption.
But through the thorny thickets?
Malformed with misintent.
We got through the thorny thicket, and now with time for some combat. I'm not apologizing for that. Oh, and it's ectoplasm! It's all ectoplasm! It's just ectoplasm all the way down, because, well, what's on the menu for today? Suffering. Suffering is on the menu today. Let's dazzle this one. Need to wear down the big one before we do anything to the other.
A blazing star is born.
And it resists bleeding. As they go for some poison. Whoa!
Assault cannot be left unanswered.
Whoa! Well, at least she survived, but that critical took away all of her health in one hit. She got hit for her maximum health in one shot. Taking an open vein. And regular slime doesn't do much less than that. Sticking with this, it bleeds for a little bit. This time it does bleed. Fortifying vapors.
The wounds of
This
war
is not
can
going to be an easy group to defeat.
but never hidden.
Slime smack. Oh, it causes stun because, of course it does. It causes stun because Darkest Dungeon hates me personally. Okay, no, that's wrong. Darkest Dungeon hates all of us equally. It has enough hate in its heart to spread among all of us. No one will be left out. Pistol shot on him.
Annihilated.
Okay, that was probably a mistake. It was a mistake. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Okay, Grape Shot Blast. That should handle the towering. Not quite. Well, okay, Wicked Hack on this one.
Eradicated.
Okay, I need to do a little bit of damage to the towering ectoplasm. And Nervous Stab will take care of that. Alright, have the Vestal just focus on healing everyone. The towering ectoplasm will die before it has a chance to use cytokinesis.
This is how a life is taken.
And critical hit with pistol shot, and that's the end of that.
As
And a
victory is
rare
mount,
antique.
so too will resistance.
Okay. No more obstacles, so we can afford to use the shovel for some grave robbing. Like so. I'm not touching that. Okay. Nervous Stab only does 3 to 4, so there's really no reason for the Antiquarian to try to kill anything. The Hellion is pretty good at doing that
cleansed
herself.
from our lands.
And Judgment.
As the
Okay, we
fiend
got rid of
falls,
half of the
a
spiders
faint
at
hope
least.
blossoms.
Okay, we got a lot of poison all of a sudden.
Be gone,
Yeah,
fiend.
one dead spider. Anti-venom and just fortifying vapors. But he's blighted for a lot. Anti-venom will take care of that. And then Wicked Slice will do 7 to 12. That could kill, and it
Executed
does.
with impunity. These nightmarish
And the
creatures
citrus
can be
rubies.
felled. They can be beaten.
And, I'm gonna drop the medicinal herbs because I don't know for certain that there are any curio interactions with them to keep the bleed amulet. Because if/when we get another another flagellant, the bleed amulet could be very helpful. And more ectoplasm, because that was so much fun last time. High protection, and you're going to have to rely on bleeding a little bit. Stun the big ectoplasm because it does more damage when it attacks. Though that 95% stun resistance is actually a pretty good reason not to attempt to stun the big ectoplasm. And if it hits. We'll focus on the big ectoplasm first, because the thing is, I'm fairly certain that if the small ones use cytokinesis, they will only create more small ones. So there can only ever be the one big ectoplasm.
How quickly the tide turns.
Get some healing in. Turn the tide back, I guess. Festering Vapor's going. And the opening of the veins also. That thing doesn't even have veins, and yet we can apparently open its veins. It doesn't have blood, and yet it bleeds. Okay. That's the end of the towering ectoplasm, and the slime smack is just the one final fuck you from the towering. Double stun! That's basically the towering ectoplasm just going, "From hell's heart I stab at thee." And Festering Vapors basically accomplished nothing. Okay, that's the end of the towering ectoplasm, but obviously these guys can still copy themselves, so they can still be a problem. Okay, Wicked Hack.
Obliterated.
Though the Lioness Warpaint does a lot of good in those kinds of situations.
Give them no quarter.
I'll drop the Jade for the portrait. And now use our one key on the heirloom chest.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Yes, I'm having that much difficulty deciding what to drop. I'll drop the gold for the busts and leave the beads. Okay, scouting. And I'm actually going to go here kind of because I... Oh, come on. Oh, okay, that was helpful-ish. I'm going to go here kind of because I know that there's nothing here, because I need to get rid of that quirk. Unfortunately, we can't afford it. Unfortunately, I can't afford quirk treatment, because that quirk is real bad. Well, it's real bad on antiquarian missions, specifically. On other missions, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. But since I've gotten this out of the way, I don't need to make it all the way to the end of this hallway to complete the mission, so then we can get out of here and be grateful that everyone is probably still alive. And somebody manages to spawn in behind us again. What do we got this time? Ah, these guys! I was wondering what fresh hell you'd have for me. Okay. Yeah, open vein is really the only way the highwaymen can do anything to these. Okay, fortifying vapors.
Inspiration
And if it
improvement.
bleeds. And let's just back that up with some judgment to make sure that the Enchantress dies. Because that way we don't have to deal with Brendan the Mark, just grope and swipe. I mean, oh, great. She had one more hit point than I thought she had. And now we probably have to deal with Brendan the Mark. Oh no, they can't reach position 3. Continue with open vein on this one.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Ow. go with wide area healing, and of course, a critical healing for the person who least needs it. Okay, I'm going with anti-venom, and then still only 7 to 14, even with all of the damage boosts from Lioness War Paint. So I'm going for it to bleed. I'm actually going to go for Nervous Stab on this one. Won't do much, but it will do something. Okay, use the last of the anti-venom and then combine the bleeding with Great Shock Blast. Okay, that's the end of the front one. The rear one needs to take a bit more damage before we're rid of it. Okay, that's 2 people who've been at death's door.
Facing the abyss.
Oh, I've already had 1 mortality debuff. What's 1 more? Wanted to make sure if the Hellion got healing during the battle.
A slow death.
And now we just need to inflict a little bit of damage on the grabber. Fortunately, with 50% protection, even a little bit of damage is an uphill battle. But we got it. Adrenaline rush. Some wide area healing again. And there he
Continue
goes.
the onslaught. Destroy them
I'll
all.
leave the key behind. Okay, so we may only have to fight 1 more battle and then we can get out of here. And I'm not pushing my luck when we already have someone who's technically under the minimum level for this mission. Ah, bandits. Oh, they were bound to show up sooner or later. Let's just stick with healing for the vessel. I can't do anything about the stealth, I don't think. Okay, let's start with Wicked. Here I am wondering if the Hellion can kill one of these guys. The answer to that was obvious.
Quickens.
And Grape Shot Blast. Still has stealth for a little while. But we got a Grape Shot Blast gets to go first this time. Nervous Stab. And Wicked Hack.
Their formation is broken.
Now there's the one Fusilier all by himself, desperately hoping his stealth doesn't wear off. Unfortunately, it just did. Well, unfortunately for him, that is. Valanges, would you like to do the honors? Yep, that is how we do that. Okay. We're close enough to the end, I can drop the bandages. I'll trade them for the busts. Oh, come on.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Alright. Okay, that wasn't the end. We need to do all but one of the rooms. Okay, I'm gonna quick. You know what? I still don't actually need to give the Vestal. Okay, maybe I do. Okay, your punishment for repeatedly screwing with curio interactions is that you're not getting any of the blood. Okay, we've disarmed the trap. Not much point in lighting that torch, but I did it anyway. Okay, and we're out of here. And I'm not gonna try to find out what's in that last room.
Paths and roads bring soldiers and supplies. Let them arrive unharried.
$20,000 gold. Yeah, that's mostly the jute tapestry, so the antiquarian did contribute a fair amount. And plenty of heirlooms, too. And another disease. Though so far, none of the new quirks are that bad, at least.
You answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
Okay, so two people used vials of the blood that were in storage, which means that we're now back to the same number of vials that we had before. Okay, let's treat your creeping cough. And let's get some stress treatment. Arundel, unfortunately, is going to have to wait because I'm not risking contagion. So Gale gets the stress treatment instead. Okay, Stagecoach doesn't contain anybody that I'm particularly interested in getting right now. Though I could, let's see about... We're pretty close to being able to expand the hero barracks again, which is definitely something I should consider. But let's also consider upgrading our ability to upgrade heroes. I don't know, the ability to do that is pretty far away. By comparison, upgrading the hero barracks would only require 8 more deeds. And trading away all of our busts would get me 6, so... Trade 2 portraits for 3 deeds, and 9 busts for 6 deeds, and I can expand the hero barracks.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
And the question is, should I just take the people that I now have, or should I hold out and see if I can get better hero classes? Let's see. I'll take the apprentice man-at-arms.
The raw strength of youth may be spent, but his eyes hold the secrets of 100 campaigns.
And the seeker abomination. But I'm actually going to leave the other 2 for now.
And reclusive. This man is more dangerous than he seems.
I'm going to leave the other 2 where they are for now. They have Hell's... The Nomad has Hell's Hairpin. Not that I particularly want Hell's Hairpin right now, though. Right now, let's look at upgrading some things. Starting with the most experienced hero, so I'll upgrade your. You have Purge. You don't have Purge. I'll have you learn Purge. Okay, leveling Purge up doesn't increase the bonus to. There's not much benefit to upgrading Purge. It's useful to have to clear corpses, but. All it does is knockback, and then only if the person in position 1 isn't a corpse, and usually when you're using Purge, the person in position 1 is a corpse. And all upgrading it seems to do is increase its ability to cause damage to the person in position 1, who usually isn't there if you're using Purge. Let's see. May as well upgrade Retribution for you. And Hound's Harry, because I'm going to want to use Hound's Harry against the flesh. Okay, you're good. As are you. But if it bleeds, could always stand to be upgraded. And... Okay, so I can by upgrading Tessel's Festering Vapors once, I double its blight damage. But upgrading it again won't increase its blight damage, no surprise there. And I may as well upgrade all of the Abomination's abilities, because I do actually use all of them. And just the sound effect cascade over here as I'm upgrading everything. And I'm actually going to hold on to the rest of my gold in case something manages to go terribly wrong. But we have unlocked the Hag. Okay, what kind of team composition can I put together for the Hag? Step 1, sort by level. Do I have a main healer who is allowed to go on this mission? I do not. However, I have a solution for that. I didn't want to take the Seeker Occultist, because I already have an Occultist.
One must know it.
But I can. So let's have him learn Sacrificial Stab and Vulnerability Hex. And now I have someone who is a kind of a budget main healer for this mission. I realize it's insane to do this. I'm still doing it. Alright, who else? Let's see. Honestly, I think Foliot, Prestiote, and Vivio. Just a very damage-oriented team composition. Unequip all trinkets. Sort by... That's not the button I meant to click on. Sort by character class. And we still don't have any trinkets that are specific for the Occultist. But he gets Junia's Head and a Worry Stone. Alright. We get the Restraining Padlock and... What else? Might as well just give him the Solar Bracer. Alright, for the... Let's see, so... I'll give the Crusader the Swordsman's Crest, and I'll back that up with the Signed Conscription, because that increases the effect of his stress skills. Actually, you know what? The Knight's Crest is probably going to be more helpful. And for the Leper, he gets the Redemption Armlet and the Warrior's Cap. Okay, the other question to ask is... Okay, so... Yeah, I have access to Reflection and Zealous Vigil. Those are the important camping skills. Okay, what I am about to try is completely nuts, and I'm going to do it anyway. I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm doing it. Okay, grab some shovels, plenty of torches. Need a lot of torches, actually. Get a good amount of food. I'm still getting used to the fact that we're not broke going into this mission. I'm used to starting missions with no money. Good for shovels, anti-venom, bandages... key or two in case we run into a hidden room. And one more. And I think we're ready. Well, let's learn about the hag, shall we?
I had collected many rare and elusive volumes on ancient herbal properties, and was set to enjoy several weeks immersed in comfortable study. My work was interrupted, however, by a singularly striking young woman who insisted on repeated calls to the house. There is method in the wild corruption here. It bears a form both wretched and malevolent.
Okay, I'm betting that the boss is either here or here, and this one seems more likely, which, knowing that, or, well, suspecting that, might actually allow me to get through the level part of the pre-boss part of this mission relatively easily. Alright, drink some of the blood, get him up to passive.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
And Crimson Court enemies on our first fight, and they're opening up with the thirst, too. Is this going to... Okay, it didn't cause... It still could. Is this gonna happen? Are we gonna have another... Okay, so we didn't gain another case of the Crimson Curse. However... Let's see. 80% blight resistance versus 120% base blight chance. I'm still going for it. Your old friend's psychological warfare. Okay, smite on this one.
Obliterated.
Okay, that's the end of him. I really should have equipped, I'm just gonna go with weird reconstruction. I really should have equipped Sacrificial Stab after learning it, shouldn't I? Okay, that's progress. These guys are going down relatively quickly. I'd just like not to be hit by the thirst again. Okay, bombing run is not the thirst. Bombing run is bad, but it is not the thirst. Go for anti-venom and just reconstruct yourself. Okay, I gotta admit, Stafford is doing a really good job of living up to his role as the main healer. And that's the end of the enemy's entire front line. And not only that, but you can reach the one surviving supplicant.
Their formation
there
is
we go.
broken. Maintain the offensive.
Actually,
Success so
Sacrificial Stab wouldn't be good because you can't use it from
or is
position
it
4.
merely a trick of the light?
So never mind. He has really the best ability set that he can have. Let's see what happens when I use holy water on the fountain. Severe stress reduction. That's good. That's good. That's what I wanted to happen. Okay, skeletons and a dog. Zealous Accusation could kill both of the bone rats.
Another
Instead, it only killed one of them.
Cleansed from our lands.
Demon's Toll. Mainly to get rid of the corpse. Manacles, because stunning the Gnasher is good, because the Gnasher is the one that's most likely to survive this round. But nobody is surviving this round.
A faint hope blossoms. And I'll try the jade for the sapphire. Blue, like strangled dreams. Again, Zealous Accusation actually has a good chance of one-shotting. Well struck.
Still didn't manage it, though. Well, I managed it for one of them, anyway. Good enough. Okay, that's a start. And that's a finish.
Begone, fiend.
And now yet another Holy Battle with more maggots! You just got a bulk discount on maggots, apparently. You just got the maggot combo platter.
Back to the pit.
And that is what I was hoping Zealous Accusation would do. Because maggots are well known for their ability to read.
Executed with impunity.
Okay, now I just want you guys to do that to the hag. What you just did, I want you to do that when we get to the hag. Okay. Scouting would be greatly appreciated, right? Thank you. Perfect. I will come back for these two chests if we're in a condition where we can handle doing that when this is all over.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption.
But in the meantime...
Formed with misintent.
Okay, got a portrait. What to drop for the portrait? I'll drop the medicinal herbs for the portrait. We got the medicinal herbs for free anyway. Still not going for another invitation because we have plenty of them. Okay, a room battle and a, whatever it's called. Okay. Hugh actually is very likely to one-shot both of these. But the odds had to catch up with us eventually. Alright. Weaken the Acolyte. There's not much else we can do. Let's manacle the Acolyte to see if we can get a stun. And just like Hugh, Zealous Accusation has an okay chance of one-shotting, but it didn't. Its chance was lower, so I kind of didn't expect it to. But the main thing is I want to damage the ectoplasms equally so they both die on the same turn. Don't worry, ectoplasms, I hate you both equally. Alright. Another manacle. Bring didn't expect that to stun. I'm just going for damage. And, okay, that's the end of the ectoplasm.
As the enemy crumbles.
Follow that up with Purge. And with little else to do, I've had the occultist do weird reconstruction, and he's rolled higher than 10 for every weird reconstruction he has done this mission. That's impressive. This guy really was born to be a main healer. May as well go for Inspiring Cry for now. Manacle this one to get them to have pretty similar amounts of health, and then
destroyed. These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Default party order: light the firewood. Baby, baby, light my fire.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight.
Feast.
And uneasy companionship.
Oh, so he actually lost health and can't eat. Okay, so first I'm going to have to use Reflection. Which, the main reason is because of the accuracy and critical bonus. Next, Zealous Vigil. And after that, I may as well go for Zealous Speech, because there's not much else to do. And there we go. No ambushes. Everyone's at full health. We got
a blazing star is born.
We got some nice buffs. We got some grave robbing loot. And yes, I am saving the blood for when we go into the boss fight so I can bump him straight up to Bloodlust.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
And here we go.
Twisted and maniacal. A slathering testament to the powers of corruption.
I forgot that the Cauldron was size 2, but the Hag only has 66 hit points. Okay. And she has 200% wound resistance. I thought the Cauldron was only size 1. To perfection. Why is there a frog in there with the seasoning? Okay, how do I want to do this? Let's see. So I need to damage the Hag because I need the Hag to die. And I need the Crusader to get a turn. Weakening Curse, that does something. Why is it taking... I feel like the Crusader missed an action or something. It's weird. I've been waiting for him... I feel like I've been waiting forever for him to finally get an action. And now he's at death's door. Okay, may as well go for Inspiring Cry to get him off of death's door. So he managed to go from however much health he had when he went into the pot to death's door in the time it took for the Crusader to get an action. Okay, chop. There, that's how we do that.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
Okay, time to get serious. We're already getting shuffled all over the place. It's time for Transform. And the only thing he can do is move. Wonderful. Okay, Inspiring Cry on the guy who's on death's door to get him no longer on death's door. And I underestimated the badness of this team composition when I failed to remember that the Cauldron is size 2. Start with the blood and then use withstand. Because I also forgot to equip Solemnity. I'm just making all kinds of mistakes today. Okay, here's reconstruction. And another high roll from Weird Reconstruction. Okay, let's actually go for Inspire and Cry. There is method to my madness.
Sedated.
It is going to require my heroes to have actions occasionally, though. Okay, and chop. Okay, she's going for meat tenderizer. Okay. Demon's Pull won't actually relocate her, but it will inflict some damage. And yes, the Crusader has kind of become the healer now. Rage is the only thing he has that can hit the hag, but it does a lot of damage. Okay, and Into the Pot didn't go for the and chop. And there we go. Goes into the pot, he gets knocked out of the pot, he goes into the pot, he gets knocked out of the pot, just the endless cycle. But now that I actually have something that can reach the hag comfortably that does good damage, we may actually survive this. I knew it was a bad plan, I just didn't know exactly why it was a bad plan. Oh right, I can't use Withstand again. Well, honestly, the stress is the least damaging thing that could happen as a consequence of that. And another north of 10 hit points Weird Reconstruction. Okay, I'm actually still gonna have to go for Inspire and Cry because we're all out of sorts. I'm fairly certain, even if he's still in the pot, if the hag dies, he gets to live. I may discover that I'm wrong, but let's find out.
Leave her corpse to rot, consumed by the spores she spawned.
Yes, okay. So, the hag dying frees whoever was in the pot.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Okay, I'll leave the gold in exchange for the Defender's Shield. I don't need another Fighting Charm. However, as crazy of an idea as this is, I'm actually going to continue adventuring because I'm fairly certain we can handle these two room battles. I mean, they won't mess with the team composition isn't going to be as bad for room battles as it was for that boss fight. Yeah, that fight was made a lot harder by the fact that I didn't remember that the hag only occupies positions 3 and 4. I wouldn't have brought a Crusader or a Leper if I'd known that. Loot. I have to actually drag it correctly, apparently. And we found some of the blood. Which means we've officially broken even for blood consumption for this mission.
We require only the strength to follow it.
And I don't have medicinal... Oh, come on. And now he has lethargy. I need to get rid of these quirks. Unfortunately, that costs money we don't have. Let's just go for some good old-fashioned smiting.
Eradicated.
Okay, Eldritch Pull, and it worked too. Fortunately, it happened later. You know what? Again, screw it. We're gonna be that way. We'll still destroy you all. Chop.
Decimated.
Okay, that's the end of the front line. Now let's finally heal the leper. We finally get a healing roll below 10. It's bound to happen sooner or later. And purge. And now there's no corpses.
The light,
and slam.
The promise of safety.
And now there's no enchantress. Or acolyte. And to make up for the 6, he gives us a 22. Yeah, this occultist was just born to be a main healer. Eldritch push. Do you really want the abomination? I realize you're trying to push the leper back, but do you really want the abomination to be in position 1? Do you really think that would be an improvement for you? And we found more of the blood.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
To drop. I'll drop the gold for the crests. We're not as broke, and heirlooms are valuable. But, okay, I'm gonna go for this treasure, and then we're getting out of here. And they really want us to collect more invitations. I guess the Baron is just getting lonely. He really wants me
spirits
to,
are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Yeah, you should have known better, Foliot. I really need to get rid of compulsive. I guess the Baron is getting really lonely, and he really wants me to return to the courtyard. Oh, and it's more of these guys, and they even start off with an empty position to put someone in. Fortunately, I have a team that's actually pretty good at dealing with that kind of thing.
Another one falls.
And, yes, I'm going for it again. Transform. Followed by Slam. Unfortunately, the one in position 1 still has the ability to use Cytokinesis. Fortunately, it won't actually get the chance.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I'm imagining the stress reduction that the,
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
When the abomination killed that slime, the occultist got a stress reduction. I'm imagining that's just him saying, "Whoa, I'm glad he's on our side." Okay, and no need to hold on to the last key. And now let's get out of here before the odds manage to catch up to me. I'm just gonna be honest. I can't believe I got away with that. I figured it was all over after I realized that the cauldron was occupied the whole front 2 spaces, so that the abomination is the only one that can damage the hag. I figured we were all dead and I was just gonna have to retreat or everyone would die. I can't believe I got away with that. But I got away with it. That leaves one more novice level boss. Oh, and the Crusader has Weapon Tinker. There's one more novice level boss we have to deal with.
The poor caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him.
Okay, Bulbeck now has Unquiet Mind instead of Weak Grip on Life. That's actually a really large improvement. And we, once again, 2 more vials of the blood were consumed by people with the Crimson Curse. Okay. So the next thing to do is to continue treating diseases, because we have a lot of those. And... okay, Arundel, the Vestal, really needs some stress treatment. And the only place she can go is the brothel. Okay, who else? Okay, Stafford is going to need some stress treatment. And... Tessel. And we're broke again. That's basically all the gold that we gained from the mission, so we're going to have to go on another mission before we can spend more gold. However, let's see, I can upgrade the furnace over at the... You know, the guild is a lot less expensive than the blacksmith. I'm going to emphasize upgrading the blacksmith's furnace more than the guild's.
In the end, every plan relies upon a strong arm and tempered steel.
And we have another flagellant. That's what I was holding out for with my 24th party slot. So, let's get a Seeker flagellant. And... we're now we're fully up to capacity. No, not by stress, sort by level. Sort by level. Oh right, it ignores people who are currently in the party when sorting by level. Okay, Gale is busy for this week. Anyway, before we proceed, I am going to get a fresh recording file, so I will be back in a moment.
Can you feel it? The walls between the sane world and that unplumbed dimension of delirium are tenuously thin here.
Okay, I am back, and we need cash, so it's time to send an antiquarian somewhere. Let's see, so I could get the event Sunshine in the Thicket if I go to the Weald, which isn't really that helpful. Let's see, that's a long mission. I kind of want to avoid a long mission. Or I could get the Padlock of Transference for a Abomination, which is actually pretty good. This is a medium-length mission, and we don't have a main healer. Again. So I'm taking a bit of a risk, but it is a novice mission, and every member of this team has some healing ability. So this isn't as insane as it seems, but it's still pretty insane. But I want the Padlock of Transference, and I need some cash anyway, so we're doing it. Alright, grab a couple of keys. We're going to the Warrens, so yeah, a little holy water. Definitely gonna need some of the blood. And a handful of shovels, food. Don't need a lot of food though, but more medicinal herbs. Definitely want both bandages and anti-venom, and I will not forget the torches. That should be enough. Okay, let's see if we survive this.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
Okay, this map layout is not as bad as it looks. Scrawlings forever changed here. Well, it's at least it was a positive change. Also, the leper still has bloodlust. I didn't know that could carry over between missions. I'm not complaining. We'll have the antiquarian start working on. I forgot to change anyone's equipment either. It kind of doesn't matter though, since they're all actually properly equipped.
The ground quakes.
Oh. On the other hand, where was that critical last round when I could have one-shotted him? Another slice and dice. And another blanket fire. Okay, blanket fire actually managed to do something. Okay, the Crusader is craving.
Give them no quarter.
Absolutely. And there he goes.
Is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Oh, right. Okay, so the Antiquarian actually doesn't have a healing ability. Also, never mind. The Antiquarian also, I forgot, doesn't actually have the trinkets that she's supposed to have. Well, there's nothing I can do about it now. We'll just have to survive with what we've got. No, there is not blood in the scroll, Presticott. So we go this way, and then basically just kind of walking the perimeter, and that will take us to all the rooms without any backtracking.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
Right. You're such a cheerful person, Ancestor, you know. Talking, you know... It's, you know, talking about how thoughtful the ancients were to leave traps for us, just so that we'd have something to do as we're walking down these hallways. You know, it's so thoughtful of the ancients to place these traps here. Scouting is kind of meaningless in this mission, so we may as well just keep going. some point I am going to need to make camp, though. And a gift from the DLC, the gift of pain. Okay, their blight resistance is actually pretty low. And this actually inflicts a fairly large amount of blight damage. Unfortunately, fairly low is apparently high enough. Okay, I didn't expect Zealot's accusation to kill. Seriously, what is with these guys' resistance rolls? But Hugh should finish the job.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Predigestion, that's good. Well, less bad would be more accurate. But now at least both of the surviving enemies are in a position where I can reach them with, whatever the name of that ability is. Beast's Bile, that's what it's called. Okay, this one's blight resistance is down to 4. If it manages to resist blight, I'm going to feel cheated.
Confidence
And
surges as the
Bloodlust,
enemy
oh,
crumbles.
he's back to passive. I was going to say, and Bloodlust does have advantage. And chop. And there we go.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them.
And hey, free blood.
all.
I'll drop the citrine for the bust. I do want to hold on to the journal page because once I've collected it, I don't have to worry about finding it again, and so it won't. Instead of finding it, I'll find other like useful stuff. So if possible, I do want to keep the journal page to the end of the mission. And our first encounter with the pigs. It will not be our last. You know what? In the interest of ending this quickly, I'm going to hold on. I was thinking about giving the Crusaders some of the blood, but I'm actually going to hold on to it. Because I do want to increase the amount of blood that we have, because we're probably going to get more people with the Cryptic Curse. Oh, but Munch inflicts surprisingly little blight damage. Honestly, I probably should have gone for Manacle there. However, doubling up on that, I am going to need to cure his blight and you.
Obliterated.
Okay, that leaves just the two. That leaves just the enemy back line. Unfortunately, that means it's going to be hard for this team to hit them. Debilitation. Go Inspiring Cry. There's not a lot else. Actually, I should have had him move in hindsight. Because then I would have been able to use Purge, but frankly, Hugh accomplished the same thing. And stun the one that's more dangerous. At least I think that one's more dangerous. I mean, blight damage I can cure with anti-venom. I don't really have the same advantage for this. On the other hand, the drummer doesn't generally cause diseases.
For death by
Actually,
inches.
well, he did die, but he died because of the damage caused by Manacle, so he would have survived the turn
As the
otherwise.
fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I'm actually going to ditch the holy water for the emeralds. And I just realized that we have an antiquarian, and I haven't been having the antiquarian do the curio interactions. I mean, you saw the... Let's... That's not good. Let's be honest. You saw the team composition I brought to take on the Hag. This is definitely not one of my better days when it comes to, you know, thinking ahead. Okay, and more pigs. Fortunately, the dangerous pigs are in front where they're easier to reach. Unfortunately, being easy to reach apparently does not make them easy to hit, at least not for a Crusader. Beast's Bile is actually probably the best way to take out the Swine Slasher. Well, that is contingent on being able to inflict blight. I I mean, high protection, low health. You really want to hit him with damage over time. Oh, right, and because we surprised them, the turn order is all messed up, so we just get to sit through a very long time with them attacking us. Let's hope the damage isn't too bad when it finally ends. Okay, that's the end of the chopper, that's good. I need to let the leopard take a bit of a mid-fight vacation and spend some time healing himself.
Decimated.
Whoa. A righteous blow. He's file. Okay, that's the end of the slasher. That just leaves the wretch.
Unforeseen.
This is actually a very good opportunity to get some healing. Festering vapor.
A decisive pummeling.
Inspiring cry. Doesn't heal much, but it does heal. Solemnity. That heals a lot more. And while we're at it, absolution. Good measure. And yet another inspiring cry.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require
And some
only
vomit.
the strength to follow it.
And solemnity. And now we just need to wait for him to expire. We don't even need to do anything. Except that the antiquarian lacks a healing ability. Oh, got a pretty
These
respectable amount of
nightmarish
loot.
creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
They're already low enough on anti-venom. I'm actually going to toss the anti-venom in favor of a rare antique. But I'm not going to worry about taking the extra food. I should have just eaten the food while we were here. And we have hunger. No thirst. No, yeah, we have hunger, and then we also have thirst on the part of Presticott. Okay, let's make camp. Let's just do a normal
Gathered
meal.
close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
Zealous vigil. Zealous speech. And I think we're good.
The match is struck.
Okay.
A blazing
And now for the
star
room
is
battle
born.
with the chest. The sack's contents
If
are
only treasure
mine.
could staunch the
All
flow
mine.
of otherworldly corruption.
So I think it is time to actually use a vial of the blood on the Crusader friend. And smite. Still not a one-shot, but it did plenty. May as well have the Antiquarian start chipping away at the Fusilier. And Chop should finish the job.
Prodigious
Ho-ho!
size alone does not
Especially
dissuade
when it
the
gets a
sharpened
critical like
blade.
that.
Weaken.
Oh, right. Surprise. Again.
The will to fight. Forward.
Zealous accusation, and that rids us of one of them. And Chop deals with the other. You know, Vivil and
This
Presticott
expedition
together
at
have been a
least
pretty
promises
effective
success.
team. And heirloom
A
chest.
fortune waiting to be
Citrine
spent.
for busts. And no scouting, so I don't know what's ahead. So I'll leave that portrait behind. Also, the stress levels are looking really good for this mission. We might actually manage to not have anyone in need of any kind of treatment when this is over.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty careless, and I've been finding a surprisingly large amount of clemency here. I keep getting away with things I really should not be getting away with.
Ambushed by foul invention.
This might be the last room we have to do, also. It is. However, we have successful scouting, which reveals that there's nothing meaningful beyond this point anyway, so it is time to return to the hamlet.
The twisting tunnels
And yeah, we
seem
don't
a little
need
less
any stress treatment after
impossible.
this. That is good. Unfortunately, because I wasn't paying attention, we only made about 9,000 gold off of this venture. But we got some experience. Okay, no, we do need some treatment. We have gained a disease. Bad humors. Yeah, I agree, the humor's pretty bad.
There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed.
Okay, so nobody consumed any vials of the blood this week, which means that the amount of blood we have has actually been increasing. And I'm just going to gradually start treating various diseases. But while I have some gold, I'm actually going to hold on to it for a little bit, because I'm planning on going back to the courtyard. We have 3 invitations. I think it's time to spend one of them. So bring Bullbeck, Dismas, Arundel, and Gale. Now I need to equip everyone, and I'm actually going to remember to equip everyone this time. Okay, so the Arbalist gets the bedtime story. And the Vengeful Greaves. The Vestal gets the head and the Worry Stone. And Dismas gets what he always gets, the 2 buckles. Because apparently, I guess he has 2 belts, so he needs 1 belt buckle for each belt. And Gale gets the Redemption Armlet and the Warrior's Cap. Okay, I'm mainly holding on to the gold in case this manages in case the courtyard mission manages to be a complete disaster, so that I don't have any cash left over. Definitely need to bring plenty of the blood. 12 food should be plenty. Handful of shovels. Definitely need both anti-venom and bandage. Is 1 more medicinal herbs, because I think there are uses for them, but I'm not sure. Holy water. And torches are useful, but not vital, so 8 should be plenty. And I think we're ready. Let us resume. It has almost kind of become a running gag that I always send the same people to the courtyard. But I mean, it's an effective team composition. Okay, how much farther is there? Forgotten Delicacy. What does the... Ah, medicinal herbs does protect for the Forgotten Delicacies. Oh, food! No, I didn't forget to bring food. I have a stack of food right here. I've forgotten things so often that I've started assuming I forgot things when I actually didn't. Disturbing diversion. This looks locked. What would a key do for this? Nothing. Holy water? How about a shovel? Oh! Okay, so a shovel, we break open the skull and we find heirlooms. Also, this mission is already kind of worth it just because of that. But is this a... Oh, no, it isn't a dead end. This probably is. I'm gonna go this way. This map is huge. I'm zoomed out as far as I can be, and I can't even get close to seeing the whole map. Okay, we're surprised. So our positioning is a little messed up, but it's not unbearably messed up. Okay, and Dismas is wasting. Well, I brought blood for a reason. Crystal Shell will do 7 to 13. Open Vein will do 7 to 13, and bleeding damage. And Bolus to guarantee that he dies.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
And of course, she uses the thirst when the one person who doesn't have the Crimson Curse. But he still doesn't have the Crimson Curse. Okay, let's get rid of the Supplicant because we can do that now. and let's just let's fail to dazzle the courtesan. Again with open vein. We can't do mark exploitation because the courtesan is too far forward. Wait, renewed appetite, and it looks like she vomited something up. First of all, I'm guessing that causes blight. But so would that be like referencing the practice of deliberately vomiting to empty your stomach so that you can eat more? Because to anyone who doesn't know, that was a real thing that people did at like feasts and stuff. I think it was common in Rome in particular. But that's an obscure reference.
Decimated.
And Dismas is just too disgusted by the entire situation. Like, no, that's disgusting. You die now.
A trifling victory.
Okay.
But a victory nonetheless.
And we found the blood. Or not. Was there a supply item I was supposed to use for that, I wonder? Who knows? Yeah, the map always tries to recenter itself. Okay, so this is the green lock. Probably referencing envy. And now we need to backtrack because these people, these experienced heroes who are experts at fighting in formation have not mastered the technique of turning around. But that's what I suspected. So there are probably a total of 4 locked gates, which would mean this is the last one. So we've had red, yellow, blue, and now we have green. Just moonwalk your way to victory, guys. Okay, it's probably down here, but I want to explore what's over here anyway first. As our stress just gradually accumulates. Okay, what's over here is enemies, but fortunately they're not that powerful. Okay, open vein has the best chance of killing the manservant. Just barely not enough. Okay. Oh, and it's using the third skill, which means it can heal itself. Okay, bolus. That still won't finish him off. Everyone is targeting Gale. They really want Gale, and it was bound to happen sooner or later. Gale finally has the Crimson Curse. Okay, let's get rid of the Squire. That's how we do that. It's unfortunate. I was hoping he wouldn't have the Crimson Curse, but would never end up with the Crimson Curse. But I keep sending him to the courtyard, so honestly, what did I expect? This is also the reason why I tend to send teams composed mostly of people who already have the curse. Haha! And Gale is courageous, cursed or not.
A moment of valor shines brightest against the backdrop of despair.
Come as steam. Just quick heal the left a little bit, or a lot of it. Let's go with sniper shot. Won't kill, but I don't need it to. But the main thing is purge. Finally, we have purge when someone in the front position is actually alive, so I can use purge to kill something. And now all we have left is one supplicant all by his lonesome. And I guess I don't need to worry as much about gather the blood anymore because we all have the Crimson Curse. We all suffer together now.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Right, I can't move the map until it finishes scouting. Okay, I'm gonna go for the farther away area and just gamble that that's the one that has the thing that we need. Okay, 4 people with the curse, 4 vials of the blood. I actually don't like those odds very much, but I think we'll get away with it. Still no enemies. That's surprising. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh no, this is one we've already done. Forgotten delicacies.
A handsome reward.
And it's
For
just
a
more
task
food.
well
We have
performed.
way more food than we need. I mean, I can use it to heal people, I suppose. This might be the key. Okay, you move back 1. Everything else about this positioning is actually fine. And these are... I feel like the game's actually going easy on me a little bit. This is not that dangerous of a team composition compared to some of the others that they've thrown at us.
Injury. Palpable fear.
How do I want to do this? Sniper's mark on its squire. That's what I'm going to start with. Because Gale is capable of handling the other squire by himself, if he hits. But I mean, Gale will most probably either do nothing or one-shot the squire, so I may as well have the, yeah, take your juice. I may as well have the Highwayman and the Arablest handle the other squire together. They really don't like Gale. Sniper shot. And there we go. Okay, that's one of them dealt with. There's open vein on this one. Okay. Hugh cannot one-shot, but Chop can.
Annihilated.
And I'm actually going to go to Dazzling Light to see if we can prevent it from getting to do anything. Prevent the Squire from getting to do anything. Okay. Grape Shot Blast will finish off the Sycophant. That leaves just the Squire, and the good news for us is that the Squire is slow. And now he's dead. Okay, the quick and the dead, that was the slow and the dead.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I do not need to be lugging around this much food, so I can just eat excess food to get more, And yeah, that yields the green key, the key of denial. Plod on and pretend it'll take you forever. Alright, I was expecting green to be like envy or something, but denial does kind of work too. Okay, everybody's full. But that went a lot better than I expected it to. I am not going to try to explore further beyond completing the mission, though. The courtyard is big enough without me actively searching every nook and cranny. I know it does contain valuable stuff, but we do need to focus on actually killing the Baron if we can ever find him. Honestly, I'm starting to expect that we'll end up encountering the Baron in this episode, in this run, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure there are 4 doors, and we just found the key to the 4th door. So this may be it. And this is not a bad team composition to take on a boss. Especially if the boss is actually accessible to... especially if the boss is actually accessible to the leper. Because Gale racks up unbelievably huge amounts of damage. Okay, we have a trap. There it is. Traps here are hard to see. And we brought a highwayman specifically to disarm the traps. And yeah, we all have everybody has the Crimson Curse, but at the very least they're all passive. So we have the curse, but it's under control, and we have 2 more vials of the blood should we need them. And we have the Key of Denial. This means another Crocodilian, if not the Baron himself. Or not. Okay. That looks a lot like a boss room. We don't have a log, so we can't make camp. I'm gonna risk it. We may end up retreating. There's a very reasonably high probability that we end up retreating. But I need to get information about the boss one way or another, so let's find out what this thing can do. In worst case scenario, 4 people die.
It would seem his taste for triviality remains unabated, even now.
Okay. So I'm going to give him some of the blood, but then I'm going to have him move back so he's back in formation. So, the eggs prevent healing, like the life from death ability that the Hateful Virago has. Let's go with Boga.
A singular strike.
And Dazzling Light, because the Vestal can't use any healing abilities right now. And then one of the eggs is where the Baron is hiding. The question is which. Either that or it looks like the Ancestor at the end, where you like have to destroy all of them or something. Alright, Dazzling Light on the one that hasn't taken an action yet. And resisted the stun. Q will definitely eliminate one and could eliminate both. Bola will kill both. Or not. I overestimated Bola's damage a little bit. Grape Shot Blast, which should reveal what the last one is, and the last one is the Baron. And he's in a very good position for me. Start with Sniper's Mark. Which also reduces his dodge, which is good because we have a leper.
Masterfully executed.
Raid in the forest. Okay, stun resistance is 87%. 120% base chance for Dazzling Light. That's actually respectable-ish. Worth trying. Unfortunately, he gets... Whoa. He gets 3 actions per round, which means marks don't hold up. And since he's in position 1, I can't hit him with either of my mark exploitation abilities anyway. His bleed resistance is actually not very good. Fortunately, Gale gives no fucks. Gale will just keep wailing on this guy until he dies.
Lapse in concentration.
Okay. Bola is really all you can do. And then go for some healing. So that makes the Baron one of the very few bosses in this game that is not size 2. He is still very dangerous, but having Divine Comfort combined with Junia's head, I probably can out-heal the damage of Crowd Pleaser. Or if not out-heal it, at least can keep up with it. The Thirst, on the other hand, is a much larger problem, because it can heal him.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Yeah, Crowd Pleaser is kind of like Blanket Fire. It looks intimidating, but it misses reasonably often, so the damage isn't that bad unless you get really unlucky. And the second act, which is the second verse, same as the first, basically. Fortunately, Grape Shot Blast is really good in that second. Fuck. That's all I have to say about that is fuck. Okay, Bola to where to... Double critical Bola. I'm wearing down the Chevalier to get him to a level where Gale can one-shot him. Which he isn't at yet. Screw it. Pushing Gale up to Bloodlust. That didn't push Gale up to Bloodlust. That just buffed him. That's not helpful. I was hoping that using another vial of the blood on Gale would cause him to enter the Bloodlust state, which I could use to increase his damage. Okay, that's one Chevalier gone, so we only have to deal with one Buried Blast. Gale, if you love me, you'll get a critical now. And he doesn't. Okay. Let's see if we can at least go for the stun.
Decisive pummeling.
We can! Okay, that's one Chevalier gone and the other Chevalier stunned. This could be a lot worse.
Slowly, gently.
Now we just need to finish off the one who only has 12 hit points. If this causes bleeding, we're there. Okay. May as well Sniper Shot to reveal the Baron. And Chop to get rid of the last Supplicant. Dazzling Light on the Baron, get him stunned. Or not.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Okay. Ho-ho! And Dismas has decided he wants to show that he can kill things too. Okay, crowd freeze. That's not that bad, even when it's a critical.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Chop? We're actually doing okay. We're not as doomed as I thought we would be. I was expecting that we'd have to retreat and this would just be a fact-finding mission, but this is actually working. I mean, the thirst does create some significant problems when he regains 18 hit points in one round. Best will just stick with healing
is
now.
a rarity in the fever pitch of battle.
The third act. His health is only very slightly lower than it was before. Is the Baron just always the one that's revealed last? Okay, the third act isn't that bad. Chop can't one-shot without a critical. May as well try for a stun. And we get one. Okay. Open Vein has a very small chance to kill. But the main thing is I'm actually planning on combining it with Bola. Dazzle this one. Or not. Because Bola... Okay, it won't kill the Chevalier.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its
But I
own.
can finish him off next round. Great shot blast to reveal the Baron, kill the Chevalier, and move the Supplicant. Just accomplishing a little bit of everything. Sniper shot on the Baron, because we just need to damage him fast. Okay, and Gale is craving. Alright, Hugh. It would have been very helpful if Hugh had not missed. Vestal just needs to stick with healing. But I have an idea. My idea is, I suspect that the Baron will not use the third act. I suspect that the Baron will not use the third act until the Supplicant dies. Also, the Vestal's resolve is tested, and she's hopeless. Come on, we're almost through this, Arundel. Just hold on just a little longer and it'll be over. But I think he won't use the third act as long as the Supplicant is alive. So if I just let the... there isn't enough space on screen to show all of the Baron's abilities. Unfortunately, Necessary Discipline just kind of does a little bit of everything. It inflicts horror, it pulls forward, it inflicts stress damage, and it inflicts bleeding. It just kind of does everything. Okay. Crowd pleaser. And, just to prove the Vestal's hopelessness wrong, I'm going to have her finish off the Baron with Judgment. Or not. I needed you to do 2 more damage than that.
And now the true
Okay.
test. Hold fast or expire.
Dismas is at death's door, but let's bandage him, and he can finish off the Baron.
Is up. The game is done.
And we got him! Oh, and now we have a
victories
blueprint.
mount, so
A
too will
blueprint!
resistance.
We have a blueprint. We have a blueprint. These rare loot items are age-old plans for expanding the hamlet. They are consumed when constructing new buildings in the districts. Blueprints are guarded by bosses. So yes, I guess they're only guarded by unique bosses. That is, if after defeating a boss you won't encounter a stronger version of them, then you get a blueprint. So the Baron, because there isn't a stronger version of the Baron, probably Wolf is also guarding a blueprint, and then the champion level versions of the regular bosses. But we have a blueprint! And a lot of other stuff, too. Glittering Spaulders, it's the, is another Crusader, plus 15% protection, plus 35% move resistance, and minus 15% stress. Okay, let's drop the Holy Water and the keys for the remaining loot. Oh, I have to actually drop the keys. And a new achievement for completing a set of unique trinkets. We took surprisingly little damage for that, too. I mean, only the Vestal absolutely needs stress treatment. And we got 15,000 gold and the Viscount's invitation. Though, in terms of, aside from the quest reward, it was a net loss in terms of loot. We spent more gold on supply items than we gained in loot, but we beat the Baron. He's gone. He actually made it past the Baron. I did not expect to win that fight on my first try. And a few level 4 heroes start to emerge. Unfortunately, Gale has the Crimson Curse, which is a bit of a problem. And we also, that was a net loss of blood. We used 5 vials of blood and gained 3. 1 from the mission and 2 from the Sanguine Vintners. Unfortunately, the blood shortages are likely to get worse rather than better.
The virulent clouds from the courtyard have abated. The airs of the estate feel narrowly agreeable once again.
A veil lifted. The haze of contagion has abated, due in no small part to the recent triumph over the age-old horror that lurked for too long behind the long-sealed courtyard gate. Removes the Crimson Curse from all affected heroes. And it did it. Nobody has the Crimson Curse. So, let's take a moment to appreciate this. So I sent Gale on... I found Gale in the courtyard. I sent Gale on, I'm not sure, but at least 3 or 4 courtyard missions, and he never got the Crimson Curse. Then, finally, when I send Gale on a courtyard mission, he manages to get the Crimson Curse, and then when he completes the mission, it's lifted anyway. Gale just will never be cursed. It's just fate. Gale is the one hero who is not actually going to have to live with the Crimson Curse. That's just the way this is going to be. But this means I don't have to worry about contagion anymore for a while either. Let's get rid of the bad humors on the abomination. I can't believe that. So that's how you get rid of the Crimson Curse, though I presume it essentially isn't permanent because there are still Crimson Court enemies that can still inflict it, but this also buys a significant amount of time because since I have the Sanguine Vintners, I can accumulate vials of the blood before we start dealing with heroes being cursed. That's a game changer. That's gonna have a huge effect. Okay, so I would need 24 portraits. So I need to gain 12 portraits, and alright, so this would get me 4. That would get me 1. 4 plus 1 plus 2 is 7. That is not, that is not 12. So I don't have enough heirlooms to upgrade the guild again. Let's see about the blacksmith. I need 32 deeds. Or 44 deeds, depending on whether I want weaponsmithing or armor smithing. I'm thinking that I want to, oh, I really need to upgrade Belange. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm just going to call her Steve from now on, because I have no idea how to pronounce that name. But I think I'm actually going to hold on to my heirlooms because one more mission and I'll probably have enough to upgrade either the guild or the blacksmith, and they tend to have the largest impact on our actual success. And a few weapon and armor upgrades later, we're all out of gold again. But having beaten both the Hag and the Baron, narrowly in the Hag's case, this is going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.